Hello, and welcome back to the weekly sessions on Heartfulness. Today, we've been talking about various topics which are relevant in our daily lives, like anger, like balance, like inner change, and so on. Today, we thought we'll do something slightly different. Talk a little bit about heartfulness worldwide. You might want to ask your audiences if what is their understanding of heartfulness. For all you know, many of them might think that it's just a few people, okay, whom they have seen, and perhaps they think that's about it. It's a practice which is local, right? And we can give them a very brief view that Heartfulness is a non-profit. It's a global organization. And today, if you really look at a snapshot of the Heartfulness Institute, it's almost 100 years since heartfulness practices and techniques have been available. It is offered to one and all in society. The only requirement being that people who practice it are 15 years or higher. And of course, the other requirement is that they should have a willingness to participate, that they should be interested in trying these techniques and practicing it, because without that, nothing works. The third thing is also that they are in a state where they are in good state of mind. I mean, this kind of meditation will not help those who have lost it. Okay, to be very clear, I think it's important to mention that as well, because here we're trying to regulate our mind, which means that we should start from a point where there is a reasonable degree of influence and control that we have. Though of course there are times in life when we all lose it, but it's important that these are for normal people, okay, not people who are on continued medications for depression and so on. Though the practices have been available for 100 years, the organization was incorporated about 75 years back. So it's been a legal entity for about 75 years. And today, it's by and large, it's spread word of mouth by people who found it effective, telling their friends and neighbors about it. And that's how this is spread. And today, people in about 150 countries practice it. We have about 200 plus meditation centers and retreat centers worldwide. Many people in a city or town or village, they get together. It might be at a person's house or a public center or a school or a meditation center where they come together to do practice meditation in groups. Typically, we get together on Wednesdays and Sundays. So these are called hotspots, about 6,000 of them worldwide. And there are about 10,000 plus trainers available worldwide who volunteer their time. They've all benefited from the practice of meditation and they volunteer the time for the support of others. And true to being a non-profit, all these services are offered free of charge to one and all. So the Heartfulness Institute itself, today we have a global presence. We believe that perhaps about 2 million practitioners, 2 million people around the world, perhaps are practicing heartfulness today. Specific to corporates, over the last few years since we've started offering heartfulness to companies, factories, organizations, we probably rolled out to maybe about 1,200 companies across the world. Today, Heartfulness, we offer heartfulness practice and meditation wherever people get together as part of their day's work. It could be schools, colleges, residential apartments, armed forces, CRPF, villages, government offices, hospitals, and so on. You might think, how is heartfulness sustained, if you don't charge for it? Well, by and large, heartfulness is sustained by donations. So we do welcome people to donate if they feel they want to contribute. So what's our mission? What's the purpose of heartfulness? It's really to create a better world by coming together and by helping individuals really bring about inner change and transformation, making them a better person. We believe that collective change or world change is possible only by bringing about change at the individual level. If you talk about world peace, how can the entire world be peaceful and calm and be a paradise if at the individual level there is stress, there's anxiety, there's worry, there's doubt, there's fear? How can there be peace in the world? So we believe that world peace can only be created by individual peace. So what really is heartfulness? Heartfulness is nothing but a practice. It's a set of techniques that are offered, such as relaxation, meditation, cleaning, and there are a few other techniques as well. But collectively, when practiced regularly and over a period of time, it helps one build inner strength, develop positive attitudes, and really brings about a sense of fulfillment within themselves. It really contributes to holistic wellness. Some of the principles that guide our heartfulness programs. The process itself is fairly simple and practical. It doesn't require you to read a lot of books. It doesn't require intellectual abilities for you to digest a lot of content. It's very practical, it's experiential. You can try it for yourself and you can experience the changes within. We believe that these changes, if you're able to observe and regularly note down, you will see that it's tangible. Also, this is not an archaic method. It is very much, these techniques can be adapted to people like us, professionals who have family, who have responsibilities, who have jobs that they need to keep. And yet, like, we can take a little time and adapt it to our typical life, a busy life, and the professional environment as well. We're a secular organization, people from all walks of life, gender, religion, communities, education, everybody is welcome. It's completely inclusive. It really brings about the real focus of heartfulness is to really see how it can bring about change at the individual level based on universal values. Most of our sessions are guided by certified heartfulness trainers. And today, given the scale of the Heartfulness Institute, we are in a position to scale these programs and run it across offices, across cities, and if required, not just pan-India, but also across the world as well. A couple of other insights, which kind of anchor the Heartfulness Institute as an organization. Our headquarters is in Hyderabad, in a place called Kanha Shantivanam. It's a Sanskrit word which translates in English to mean forest of peace. It's a fairly large facility. It's about 350 acres. It has a very large meditation hall, perhaps one of the largest of its kind. It can seat about 80,000 people simultaneously. And it's a completely green environment. It's something like, that we would all invite you to visit at some time and experience it for yourself. When so many people come together to meditate together in a place, it's as if that place also acquires a certain serenity and it seems to radiate, and then it's something for you to experience. We do have a global guide of heartfulness, a person very much like us. His name is Kamlesh Patel. He's affectionately called as Daji. He's also a person like us. He's gone through a professional life. He's a pharmacist by training. He finished his degree in Ahmedabad, went to the US at a very early age, started working in pharmacies, started from scratch, right at the bottom rung of the ladder. And he became a businessman, set up a pharmacy in New York. And he grew his business when in the New York area, which is one of the toughest parts of the world to do business. New York, Queens, Brooklyn, that kind of area. He had a chain of about 25 to 30 pharmacies which he was running. But while doing all this, while going through the challenges of business and running his own business, he also was practicing meditation himself under the heartfulness practice. And he could develop himself and internally as well. Okay, where he became the Heartfulness Global Guide. He's very much like us. Okay, is married, has children, and he's written a couple of books, like which really explains heartfulness in a very simple way for us to understand, called the Heartfulness Way and Designing Destiny. With that, we'll go to the experience. You may want to pick which experience you want to offer, whether it's meditation or cleaning. We can keep switching between the two. Give them the experience 25, 30 minutes, ask them how they feel, and then let's conclude. So, the takeaways given the Heartfulness Institute, now that you are aware of Heartfulness being a global institute, perhaps they can go online, go to heartfulness.org, and identify a heart spot that is near them. Get in touch with another Heartfulness trainer in their local area where they stay. Perhaps they can meet with them, have a meditation session, and also visit the closest Heartfulness center and just go and visit the place. And if they go there on a Sunday or Wednesday, very probably they'll be able to join a group in meditation as well. Ask them to explore, or if it works, you might want to organize for a tour of the closest meditation center on a weekday or a weekend when it's mutually convenient, and you can take them on a tour so that they also get a feel for the larger organization that we are. Thank you, and we'll see you again next week. Bye bye.